Hi everyone, and welcome to the info session on the C2Lab, on the Cluster Collaboration Lab that we're organizing at the end of September in Strasbourg, organized by the European Cluster Collaboration Platform in collaboration with our local partner AFPC. So welcome to this info session in which we want to give you some background information on the event format, what is expecting you in Strasbourg, and hopefully to answer all your questions as well regarding the C2Lab, how it's going to be organized, and what's in it for you, and why this could be an interesting event for you to join. My name is Nina. I'm part of the ECCP team, and I'm here together with my colleagues, to which I come in a moment, to give you this overview of the C2Lab and to invite you to also to make this very interactive, so you have options to ask us any questions that are on your mind regarding the event. We'll try to get to all of them in due time. We have on the agenda first Valentino Izzo, who's going to give us a short introduction and welcome from the European Commission side. And we also welcome Clotilde Nallet from the Cluster Vécu du Futur from France, who's going to be our host for the C2Lab edition. And then my colleague Antonio, also from the ECCP team, will present the event format to you, and I will share some details on the concrete agenda and on how to register and how to get engaged before the event, so that you have all the opportunities to get into touch with your new, hopefully, collaboration partners. And we do the Q&A at the end, but don't hesitate to put in your questions also while we're presenting, so that we can get back to them after our presentations and to answer all of them. And for that, you have either the Q&A function. So if here in Zoom, you go to the bottom of your screen, you should see a Q&A button which is active, which you can use to put in your questions, or you can also use the chat function to comment. We will look at the chat and to see any comments that you're writing, to ask for any questions. If you like to come into the session live and ask your question, that would also be great. For that, please use the raise your hand function that you will see in Zoom, and we will then let you in and give you the floor. It will take a second to add you to the panelists, but if you'd like to do that, we're happy to also have you live with us and to ask your question or your comment. And please note that the session is being recorded and that we might publish this on the European Cluster Collaboration Platform after, also to give the opportunity to other people who could not join us today to have a look at the recording and to learn more about the C2Lab. And with this short introduction and hopefully a few connections that are now coming in, I will hand over the floor to Valentino to give you the welcome from the European Commission.
Thank you, Nina, and good morning, everybody. I wish to welcome all of you here on behalf of the European Commission to this info session for the next Cluster Collaboration Lab, which will be held in September in Strasbourg. What is a Cluster Collaboration Lab and why we are organizing this? This is a co-creation laboratory. The final objective is to really help you boost boosting thematic collaboration between clusters, but also between clusters and other key stakeholders, SMEs, startups, research centers, academia, etc. To stimulate and scale up interregional collaboration in new cross-border value chains. It is a service that is offered by the European Cluster Collaboration Platform on behalf of the European Commission, and this is organized this time in collaboration with the French Association of Pôle de Compétitivité. Do you want to network? Do you want to scale up your project idea? Do you want to share your idea with your peers? Are you looking for the right partners with specific competences to develop further your project ideas? Do you want to transform this idea into a real investment plan into a roadmap, then C2Lab is for you. We can help you, and the CCP will help you facilitating the discussion, guiding the discussions, facilitating collaborations, identifying the right partners for your project, building, making your idea become more mature, transform it into a concrete business case. We'll follow up, we'll help you identify the right funding mix and so on and so forth. But Antonio will later for sure provide more details on what we are organizing and what we are supporting. So in short, I invite you to come to Strasbourg on 25th and 26th of September. Come with your project ideas, whatever level of maturity they are. Please also invite your the key partners you work with, or the partners you would like to work with, you would like to develop your project with. Plan your trip, and that's it. The rest is on us. Thanks, and the floor is back to you, Nina.
Thanks, Valentino. And I will directly hand over to Clotilde to also give you a few words from our partner AFPC and the organization.
Thank you, Nina. Good morning, everyone. My name is Clotilde Nadet, and I'm working in the French Automotive Transport and Mobility Cluster, Pôle Véhicules du Futur. I'm here today on behalf of the AFPC. So AFPC is the French Association for the Clusters. And in France, we have specific clusters named Pôle de Compétitivité, which received an excellence label from the French state. So all these clusters are gathered in an association, and this association is working today with the ECCP to welcome you for the next C2Lab event in Strasbourg in France. So why did we choose Strasbourg as a place to welcome you all? Because Strasbourg is a city at the center of Europe. So both in a political and geographical way. First, you all know that we have the European Parliament in Strasbourg, so many things related to the European Union are happening in this particular city, but also through the geography, we are a city widely open to Europe. With a direct border with Germany, but also close connection with Luxembourg, Belgium, Italy, etc. We are widely open, and so we thought it was a perfect place in France to welcome the next C2Lab of the ECCP. On behalf of the AFPC team, we are really looking forward welcoming you in Strasbourg in September.
Thanks, Clotilde. And I think we are expecting also a lot of Pôle de Compétitivité at the event, right?
Definitely. All the Pôle de Compétitivité, or at least the majority of them, will be present in the event. So on very various topics, from mobility to building, from health to digital. So you will have all the range of the French clusters work during the C2Lab.
Great, thank you. And this is also a good place to give the word to Antonio to present us a little bit more in detail about the event format. We heard we will have the French colleagues there, so great opportunity to network also with the French Pôle de Compétitivité for your next projects. And how this is done, I will give the floor to Antonio.
Thank you, Nina. Good morning, everyone. Yes, let me introduce the concept. Could you go? Yes, please. Thank you. So we are organizing, as it was presented by Valentino before, the C2Labs as a presential on-site 1 day and a half interactive workshop, okay? But that doesn't mean that we are just working on the ideas that we want to facilitate during only those days. We will have some preparatory work and some follow-up. Okay, but the main event is that 1 day and a half. Okay, the idea is to facilitate the generation of new projects and collaboration linkages. It's not properly oriented to create the idea there. The best approach is to have ideas and bring them to the groups that will be organized in the C2Lab in Strasbourg. So if you have an idea and you are lacking some resources, that could be about partners, could be about knowledge, about funding opportunities, about skills, for example, on defining business case, okay? This is the place, you know, especially if you are looking to collaborate with our French colleagues, because as Mathilde just said, we will have there the strongest possible representation of the pole de competitivity. So the idea is to help you in the, as mentors or with expert mentors on those last steps in the definition of the ideas. Can you go to the next slide, please? Yes. Okay. So this is not only addressing clusters; it's also addressing SMEs, companies, cluster members. So they are welcome. Universities, research organization, any related actor. And you can not only we are inviting you to come. You can promote the participation of your members with ideas, or your universities, and even those policymakers that could help in knowing and maturing, knowing priorities or opportunities, and maturing the proposals for those opportunities. So please keep that in mind. There have many cases of clusters bringing their members to the C2Lab, and this is, I would say, a great factor for success, you know, because it's easier to go deep in the projects with their direct implication. Next slide, please, Nina. So what can you expect? Of course, we will facilitate the exchange between participants, okay? But this is not only about that, it's about exploring real ideas and concrete opportunities. So we will facilitate the discovery process of who could be better suited to collaborate with others, okay, in which areas. So we will invite you, or all of you, to participate in specific target groups. It could be about topic, it could be about concrete ideas or projects. We will probably go, it all depends on the maturity of the ideas, you know. We are extremely flexible. So if a project or idea is quite mature and has enough, if not enough partners interested directly in the idea, we will not go through the selection process. We just will facilitate the concrete work on that idea. But generally speaking, we will go through a process of studying different proposals and ideas group by group, and selecting those with more interest or potential or strength, I would say. No, and on those selected ideas, we will go deep. mean we will help on defining the potential partners, the potential tax sources, funding opportunities, whatever is needed in order to help the project of the proposal to mature. And we will also help the group in defining next concrete steps, okay? Because the C2Lab doesn't end at the end of this 1 day and a half session. Will continue, and even we would facilitate the follow-up of those ideas. So every group will be guided by a facilitator that will be expert on those topics and with a long experience. And it will be very helpful for us if you could, when you register for the event, make it quite clear, your idea, your proposal, because that will help not only the organization of previous potential groups, but also the selection of the facilitators, because if we don't have a expert facilitator in some very concrete field that is of interest of several of you, we will look for it, for him or for her. Next slide, please. So here you have some images of what has been done in the previous C2Labs. This is the one in Vilnius. And there is another slide on, if I'm not mistaken, in Land in Sweden. They were very productive. We know that we have been, after the sessions, there has been quite a lot of proposals built and presented to the Horizon course or other funding programs or at the European or national level. So we know that it's working, okay? And I just want to, again, invite you to participate. That's it for now.
Thanks, Antonio. Then let me come to the very concrete C2Lab that we are going to have in Strasbourg on the 25th and 26th of September. So in terms of agenda, you heard that, of course, what we want to do is facilitate the work. So that will also take up the main part of the event. In the morning on the 25th, there's the annual meeting of the AFPC European Committee, where the French partner will attend. So we will, for other participants, arrange a visit to the European Parliament in case this is of interest to you. If not, we will start the C2Lab at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. After the welcome, we will review the challenges that are set for C2Lab, to which I come in a minute, and the pitching of project ideas. So for the people who come with already concrete project ideas, which they want to further develop, and who for which they might invite other participants from you coming to join these ideas. We will have a discussion on elements of project creation, as well as get an overview of funding opportunities. That is usually done by the European Commission, so to give us an outline of the great, of the overarching priorities, what kind of projects are going to be funded in the future, what opportunities are available now, as well as to give us an overview of the different programs that can be interesting for cluster companies. Maybe not always the usual ones which we go to, but also different programs that are not so well known to the community. And then in the afternoon, we will start with the working group phase, as described by Antonio. And this working group phase will also be focus of the 26th of September. In the morning, we will continue the work on the project proposals and present to each other the results, in case there are people who worked on different proposals and different working groups, so that they also know what was discussed in the other groups and whether that might be of interest to their organizations as well. So that in terms of the rough agenda for those 2 days. And in terms of the topics of the C2Lab, we have gathered some challenges to pre-sort the participants into working groups around topics to facilitate creating synergies between the participants. And these come from both the interest that we received from the cluster community in certain topics, but also from the specialization priorities of our host region. So we will, if you're interested, look into meta-clustering, so the formation of cross-sectorial, interdisciplinary and trans-European meta-clusters to build resilience and accelerated twin transition. We're looking at green transition and digital transition. Interregional investments are also a big topic, so to look into the collaboration across regions to identify investment opportunities at an interregional scale, as well as develop the business cases for those interregional innovation projects. And then we will look into if there's enough interest from mobility, so the shift towards low and zero emission means of mobility, as well as develop recommendations to incentivize the uptake of sustainable mobility choices, look into health, especially with the experience from the past years to enhance epidemic preparedness by better connecting existing infrastructures, innovation agendas, policy-making mechanisms, data standards, all those questions that arose from and into construction, which is also currently a big topic, especially looking into the renovation to meet long-term climate and energy targets, as well as the transition to circularity. But of course, we don't want to limit it to this. So these are options in case you want to join and you don't have a very concrete project idea yet, but you would like to work on a certain area. But if you have an own project idea during the registration, you can already give us a short presentation of your project idea and make this also available to you. I will explain to you in a minute how to the other participants, and we invite you to present your own project and to build a working group around this. As I said, each participant will choose during the registration a challenge to work on, so either from the predefined challenges or from the project idea that and bring it to us. So in concrete, what does this mean for you? In terms of the preparation and the event itself, first of all, we invite you, of course, to register. For that, we have set up a B2Match event where you have the possibility to hold preparatory meetings with your further peers. We will, at the beginning of September, offer you the chance to take part in an online pitching session. And then in the first step, we will hold the in-person workshop in Strasbourg on the 25th and 26th of September, as said. And the follow-up after that will then be continuous. In terms of registration, as I said, we will have the B2Match platform. So when you go to the event website, you will have the registration link there. So during the registration, we'll ask you the usual questions of who are you, what's your position, what's your organization, and with this information, you will complete your profile on the platform. And there will also be a question on which of the challenges would you like to address, or whether you will bring your own project idea to the workshop. And one remark, please, when you register, make sure that you also select the long-term matchmaking, as it is labeled by B2Match in the registration process, so that people can get in touch with you and request meetings with you, bilateral meetings, already get to know you and to see whether you can collaborate on your project idea during the C2Lab. So please make sure to take the long-term match. Then we have also enabled the marketplace, as it is called. And here you can, in addition to the description of your organization that is published when you register, and your selection of the project proposal, also publish your own opportunity, your own project idea, or the kind of people you're looking for to work with. So if you go in the menu to Marketplace, you can add an opportunity and describe your ideas and capabilities and what kind of projects you would like to work on during the C2Lab, in case you already have a idea. This will then be published on the platform and visible to all the accepted participants in the C2Lab, so that the people can contact you. And we would like to really encourage this, get an idea of who's with us and in what kind of direction you need also the facilitation and the support. Then, as I said, the long-term matchmaking for this, this is enabled during now until the beginning of the in-person workshop. So here, when you enable long-term matchmaking, you can request meetings, as I said, with the other confirmed participants who would also like to get to know you and speak about collaboration opportunities that you can then further explore at the C2Lab. Now during summer, maybe some of them participants are off, maybe others aren't. So it can also be a great opportunity to take the time that maybe now is a bit slower, where you don't have so many meetings to run to use this opportunity to get in touch with your fellow peers and to see who of them that will also be in the C2Lab would be the best fit for you for future collaborations. So do that by clicking on participants. You will see which of the participants are confirmed to the C2Lab and which will attend, and then you can click on request meeting, and they will receive a message through the system so that you can suggest a time and a date, and you can have a virtual matchmaking to get to know each other and to speak about collaboration opportunities. Then at the beginning of September, we will invite you to a general session with all of the participants to open this also up to everybody. And if you want to present yourself to the wider community, you can already indicate it during the registration whether you would like to present a concrete project idea, you want to maybe present yourself or your entity, or whether you don't want to attend the pitching session, but we will offer this as an additional preparatory step at the beginning of the September in the form of an online meeting as we are now, so that you can hear which other people are going to be at the C2Lab and what they are offering, either as a concrete project idea or as the entity. And for this, we will send you the written confirmation of the date and time beforehand, as well as the connection link to Zoom, so that we can hold this online pitching session together. And then, of course, last but not least, the in-person workshop. So here, based on your challenge selection, as said, you will join together in the respective working groups, or based on the discussion that you had. So you maybe already be in touch with some people with whom you will then form the working group to work on your project ideas with the facilitator explained by Antonio, to define your goals, to discuss the objectives and scope of the project, the target groups, which will be the activities that you would like to carry out during the project, what are maybe also the risk assumptions that you need to take, and also think about how this is going to be financed. So whether you would like to go for a call, or whether you would want to look into private investments for this project on a national level, European level, to discuss all of these details, and then at the C2Lab. And yeah, with that, I will stop here and invite everybody to register to the C2Lab. So this is published on the European Cluster Collaboration Platform. You have the link here on the screen, and I will also put it in the chat now again, so that you can, in case you haven't done it yet, register the C2Lab. And we also have the first questions coming in, so that's great. And I will read them out maybe as the best form, and then I will also give the questions, maybe the first ones to Antonio. So first of all, from Pepe Betancourt, many thanks, connecting from Gran Canaria in Spain, asking, given the current challenges in European industrial clusters, such as sustainability and innovation, how does the C2Lab plan to ensure that the collaboration among clusters leads to tangible and measurable outcomes? Maybe we will get this first, and then also a second question.
Thank you, Nina. As I said before, we will follow up on the different ideas and groups, and we will work for facilitating the success of the ideas, no, the maturity, and probably, if we can, facilitating the presentation of those ideas to the funding opportunities. That could be, as it was said, private or public, or if the idea needs other kind of support, I don't know, locating partners, for example, we will work on that. But we are measuring the results, but we are not, it's not compulsory to be successful on the development of that, of those ideas, you know. So yes, we are following up. We are measuring, but we know for sure that even some of the ideas developed during our business opportunities developed during the C2Lab could be even secret, you know, because we know that there are cases where our attendants are speaking between 2 or 3 on ideas that they would not like to share. So it's not that we are making compulsory to report on the success of the ideas. Of course, we want to know, but it's not something writing in stone. Huh?
Yeah, maybe then I can
Antonio,
also
complement. Yes,
Yes.
Nina. No, to be clear, what is our role? We are facilitating collaborations, but we are encouraging a bottom-up approach. This is not. We are not steering any project into something. And as Antonio said, obviously we are supporting and following up to when there is a need for such a support. But there are cases where collaborations can develop further without any assistance. For sure, if the question was intended to understand if it's worth or not to participate, we know that few of the project ideas that have been initiated in the C2Lab have brought to the presentation of projects and the composition of some partnerships that applied to and received EU funding afterwards. But it's not possible, I think. It makes no sense also to give a benchmark, because as I said, we are not measuring, we do not see the overall picture. And then in one C2Lab, we can have 2-3 project ideas developed, worked on, and in another 10. So it really depends on you and what you come with, and who are the participants, if there are participants that match your idea. Thanks.
Thanks, Valentino. Yeah, and I think that also answers the second question, provide specific examples of benchmarks that will be used to evaluate the success. And we will, of course, look into what is the outcome of the discussions directly after the C2Lab. So until which stage did you come in your discussions to get an idea of how far the project's idea are? And we will also send a follow-up survey after a few months to check whether you're already, whether you continue working on your idea or not. So this is the information that you provide to us in terms of whether this is and how this is going further, whether you have identified funding opportunities or whether you need help, and whether there was, for example, as Valentino said, application for calls that are already open, so you can report back to us on this. I will first do the two questions on the chat. Sorry, in the Q&A, and then I'll come to the chat. And there's another question in the Q&A.
Sorry, Nina. There is another question in the Q&A. It's about the possibility of having representatives of public or private donors, okay, attending. And so my comment on that point is, of course, they will be welcome as facilitators for those resources that some of the projects or the ideas will need, okay? And we have invited them on the first part of some of the previous C2Labs, okay? I don't know if they fit as part of the groups, okay? I'm not saying no, okay? Valentino could give the opinion, okay? But I'm not sure about it's not the purpose of the C2Lab to act as a showcase of projects for them, as far as I understand. Okay, Valentino, what do you think?
Yes, no, I basically depending also on the participants, on the ideas they have in mind. We might, and we had in the past invited somebody, for example, from the European Commission or from some local authority that could present some funding opportunities relevant for the participants. So this could happen. Obviously, we'll need to see how the registration develops, but to present some opportunities. But the aim of the C2Lab, as Antonio said, is to have discussions around ideas and not to discuss how to answer certain calls, or not to discuss or not to present projects to some donors. So the concept is different, the aim, the objective is different, and there will be it's the other way around. We would like you to make your idea bring your idea to the next level of maturity, and help you with that in this process. And then when the idea is more is an investment project, help you identify the right funding.
Thank you, Valentino. And maybe you would also like to comment what you've written in the chat to Pedro's comment on it would be interesting to have the next cluster calls published until then. Maybe you would also like to elaborate and comment.
Yes, Nina, right. I partially already replied now, but yeah, what is important to mention that probably was not said, one of the things we offer as a CCP is an input paper for the participants. So all participants registered will receive it ahead of the event. It will also give a good overview of what are the relevant funding opportunities. With also a thematic focus on the topics that will be the main focus of this specific event that Nina mentioned before. And so you will all receive. I mean, we will try to make the funding opportunities, at least from the European public money, a bit less foggy than it is normally. So we will a bit identify for you some relevant upcoming calls.
Exactly, and this will be published on the CCP and sent to you in September in preparation. We have a very concrete question on the deadline for the registration. Theoretically, you can still register during September until a few days before the event, if you're not sure whether you can come or not. To make the most of your experience, I would recommend to register as early as possible. so that the people can see that you're coming. You can get in touch with the other participants. Publish what you want to do on the BeachMatch platform, so that we also get the idea of what you would like to work on, what you offer, what you're bringing. But yeah, the hard deadline, let's say, is until the in-person. But as I said, please, if you know you want to come, please register as early as possible to also get the visibility during the preparatory steps before the event. And let me check whether there are any other questions. Yeah. Or now is also your chance to put in your question if you have anything that we have not answered yet. Please do that. I will give it also a few more moments in case you want to type anything. Any other question for Valentino, for Antonio, for Clotilde, for me? Please put them in now.
There was before a question on the slides. I think it was deleted, but this session is recorded and it will be available on ECCP.
Great. I don't see any other question coming in.
So just one last comment, Nina, to all of you. I really want to encourage you to participate, because this is a great opportunity. It's not so, in my experience, it has never happened before, no? To have the opportunity to link with so many excellent clusters, the French Pole de Competitivité, all of them, if I am not mistaken, Clotilde could correct me, have very concrete goals on internationalization in their agreements for the public government, no? So they need to work on these kind of projects, and they are opening the possibility for all of us to realize collaborative ideas. And so I would say this is the probably best opportunity of several years, no? To link with them. So please register and disseminate the opportunity to your members and your networks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Antonio. And I think it's a great comment to close. I don't see any other question coming in, but if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to contact us and to get in touch with us. You can reach us via C2Lab at clustercollaboration.eu. I also put the email in the chat again. You also have it on the website. So hopefully we will see you all in Strasbourg at the end of September. And please register as early as possible, as I said, if you know that you want to come. And we're looking forward to working with you there in person. So thank you very much for taking the time to be with us today and for listening, and have a great summer, and hopefully see you in France at the end of September. Thank you very much and have a good day.